Let's talk a little bit about yourself, because as you say, you played and won the first ever Women's World Championship at the Lakeside in 2001. When those small acorns grew, could you imagine that the game has grown as big as it is now in the women's side?
We'd have hoped for it to have grown quicker, but where it is at the moment is great. You know, we've got the PDC, Women's Series and everything as well, and MODUS. And, you know, it's going from strength to strength. And I think women's sport in general is at a very big place as it is at the moment. So anything like this it's refreshing, you know.
Is it going to help, say, the ladies being professional, as in being able to do it as a job? Because I remember back in the day when I was first hanging around with you and getting to know you, it was always a struggle still, even though you were at the top of the sport, to finance you getting yourselves around to do all these events was very difficult. And I saw it firsthand for you. So to bring these extra events in, surely that's going to help maybe be able to create these professionals, your Bows and your Fallons and to continue the next sort of wave to come through.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like you say, it's having the media attention gives us the opportunity to get more sponsors, and obviously playing in these sort of events, it's a platform. It's a good platform for us, and it's like you said, back in the day when it all first started. You know, somebody said to me, God, you're 10 times world champion. You could see the pound signs clinking in their eyes, but clearly that's not the case. And but it's getting better. It's getting better. We as players would have liked for it to have moved quicker, but it's getting there.
Let's talk about the beginnings for yourself as a darts player. Where did it all begin for Trina Gulliver?
Mum and Dad used to have a pub, so from very early years. However, I was only 4 when they come out of the pub trade. So at the age of 14, I was playing alongside my mum and my sisters in the local pub team sort of thing. It originates from the pub, doesn't it? The game originates from the pub. So that's where everybody starts.
And then where does it then blossom from playing as a youngster in that pub to then thinking, actually, I can take this a little bit more seriously? And what opportunities were there initially for yourself?
There was a very small youth system back in them days. I'm feeling old now. But there was a gentleman called Jack Cundy who spotted me and got me to play for Warwickshire Youth, or Coventry Youth then, and then it all progressed from there. So I started in the Warwickshire Youth system, and then went on to play in the seniors in Warwickshire, and then from there into England, and decided then I was given the opportunity by local sponsors that could see my talent, fortunately, and I was given the opportunity to do the circuit, and that's how it all began, really.
In terms of the circuit, what kind of events were there on offer before the first World Championship?
It was BDO events, really, you know, WDF events, and but that was all that you had. Super League and BDO. There was no televised tournaments for ladies, so that was, you know.
And the prize money back then was so different for the ladies compared to the men.
It was,
because it was relative, I suppose, to the entries that were coming in from the ladies.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, the very first World Championships, Lakeside World Championships, I think the first prize was, I can't remember whether it was 1,000 or 2,000, but you know, it was minute in comparison to the men's. The men's was on 50,000 then, I think. But you know, that was something that we kind of like, okay, it's fine, we've got it in the calendar, kind of thing, you know. So. You know, that was the way forward. It was a stepping stone for us, so we were happy to take that.
You played at that first World Championship. You won that first World Championship. What is that feeling like when you step up, you hit that winning double, and you get to be called champion of the world?
It's amazing. It is amazing, and like the first champion as well. And the players that were taking part in that first, there was only 4 of us. The players that were taking, we knew how important it was for us it was a bit of a showcase, a shop window for us. So we had to perform well for us to be taken a bit more seriously, kind of thing, you know. So, and unfortunately we did. You know, we did put on a good show, and it continued in the calendar then. So, but yeah, the first one was great. The 10th was great too.
Not just did you win that first one and that got to the calendar, you just kept winning, and you were just a winning machine at the Lakeside, particularly for those first few years of that event.
Yeah, I think it's the home of darts. It's very fond memories of Lakeside and Bob Potter, and it's a great venue to play at. It's just an awesome feeling when you get that.
you looked at home there. Every time you went there, I'd been with you a few times, and you always looked relaxed around the place, and you felt like it was home, and you played like it was home.
Exactly. You know, I did feel really comfortable on that stage, and nothing seemed to faze me up there. You know, even when I was in the mire, but it's, you know, 7 years on the trot. That was not a bad record, is it?
Was there a point where you almost felt invincible on that stage when you were 7 in a row?
I don't know whether you feel invincible. You just feel comfortable, I think. And if you feel comfortable, then your game's going to go better. So, but yeah, it was definitely my stage kind of thing.
You didn't have it all your own way later after that 7, did you? You have Anastasia came through, Lisa, who was one of your best buddies at the time, came through, and you're
I don't talk to her anymore, though.
Yeah, good. Nor do I. But anyway, no, I do. You know, you then had to work so hard to get to that 10. We say 10 times world champion now, and everybody thinks, well, no, it was only you. That was not the case.
No, absolutely not.
Those last few to get, you had to play dynamite.
I did, and like the 10th in particular was something that even I didn't think I could do. You know, my game wasn't great at the time. Okay, I think I won the Masters in coming up to that, but my head wasn't quite in the right place, and it just all seemed to fall into place that week for the 10th. And you know, I was as shocked as anybody else, really, but it happened.
I was with you, and I thought you were going to get the 10th. There was just something about you that week that it was you looked to have your head on and ready to go, and I think the only one that doubted that you were going to get your 10th was probably you.
Oh, maybe so, but you know.
As the years go by and that total stays on 9, does that add an extra pressure to put that double digit to your name?
Because you're thinking like that double digit would be great. 10 sounds better than 9, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. 9 sounds better than 8, but there you go. But
1 sounds better than none.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Scott.
And then you win those 10 world titles, and you win that title in 2016, and then after that, few challenging periods, you get new challengers at the top of the game, and things just moved a little bit in a different direction for you.
Yeah, you know, it's highly highlighted that you know, I had a problem with alcohol, and over 4 years dry now. So, and that's been a major issue back then. My game went right off. My head wasn't in it, and fortunately, I was taken into hospital, and things changed from there. Completely changed, and all for the better. And it's so I just feel so more relaxed now, and enjoying it more. And it's just, my life without alcohol is so much better. It's so much better. I see clearly, clearer. Can't spell still, can't count still, but there you go. But yeah, it's a lot better, and it's a breath of fresh air.
And we've seen you play superb stuff over the last few years. We've seen you win a women's series recently. We've seen you on the World Seniors stage, but it's a good performance. We've seen you play well here at the Super Series in the past. So it's still a very good game in the Trina Gulliver locker. Have you set any goals or expectations? You're at the stage of your career now where you just want to try and embrace every opportunity you've got.
It's a bit of both. You know, once you're a competitor, you're always a competitor. So you always want to do well. However, I try not to put so much pressure on myself now. You know, when you've got them 10 world titles and you're the current world champion, you know, there's always that pressure on there to defend. You know, and it can come with its costs. You know, it can take its toll, and you know, it's not just the physical thing. It's a mental attitude and the way you approach things, and it's the whole ball game. It's the whole thing. So. But I'm more relaxed about things now, and you know, I still want to achieve, but it's not the be-all and end-all.
And Scott, just to round off, because one thing we know about Trina, she's very humble about everything she's done in her career, but I just want to talk about her impact in the game, because she was the first trailblazer of the sport, and when she was winning world championships, the media attention was nowhere near what it is now, and maybe some of those achievements went under the radar a little bit.
I think some of them did, but Trina was trailblazing not for herself. That was the humbling bit. She was trying to make it better for all the girls, not just her. That makes her very unique and special in her own way, because it's very easy to be a trailblazer when you're thinking of yourself, but that wasn't her way, and it's never been her way. And I've been very fortunate to be alongside her on many occasions, winning world championships, or just popping down to practice together. Down in Somerset, we've had some great times together, and she's always been my mentor and idol, and I phone you at silly hours, don't I, and go, what have I done? I can't believe it. What do I do now? And she steers me in the right direction.
And then I invoice you.
Yeah, and then she invoices me. And she's not Trina Gulliver 10 times world champion for us. She's just a family friend, and we all love her. So
Just finally, Trina, last word to you. How would you describe your career in your own words?
Up and down kind of thing, emotionally, physically and mentally. But yeah, I look back, sometimes I forget what I've achieved, and I have to remind myself, God, you've done a lot, you've achieved a lot. But it's my mentality is I always want to achieve. It's that competitiveness, whether it be in competing in a sport or whatever. It's like when I became a qualified carpenter and joiner, I wanted to do that. I wanted to achieve, and I think that's something that's born and bred in me, and is in the family, to be fair. So it's a bit of a gene. So, but yeah, sometimes I have to remind myself, don't knock yourself too bad. You've done well.